I think you go to get some more advanced cameras than this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that too, but they did it with gloves too, because if you saw, like, you would see, like, the fingerprints too, so they definitely did it with gloves. Hey, that guy is pointing a gun at us. Yep. Yo, man, let me see your hand. Let's go.
Shithead!
This tire was popped. I lost eyes on him, but that's gonna be Lewis Cox. I had him earlier. Robbery. Oh, got
Got him?
Yep, I got eyes on him.
Where?
Shots fired.
From behind.
Hey, he's behind the strip club. He's behind the strip club.
Oh, you got it. Where you been? I'm so
Hey, Freeze, come here.
Where'd you go? See, this is what happens when my gun is jammed. We got him.
Oh, you're still bugged, aren't you?
Yep, that's what happened. I was still bugged. My gun was jammed. Did you see? The only time I'm thankful my gun jammed on.
The only time you try Jesus Christ.
Well, now he's dead, so.
Well, you might need to take a nap first.
Oh, yeah. When we get down to NYPD and I'll run the evidence, then I'll take a nap.
Holy shit. He has $82,000 in cash on him, along with like shit tons of money bags.
Oh, see, came from 18 robbers.
Dude, he also has a pair of handcuffs on him too. Holy shit.
You got damn. You've been shopping. Kyle,
That leads me to the thrift store.
You're still driving this car over the station.
Yeah.
I don't know if. So this is the Sabre I saw come in and then go back out instantly.
I mean, let's all be real. He's getting the max sentence.
Yeah, man.
Hey, officer, I would like to, I would like to know, why I was just opening up fire when I was just going to my favourite strip club.
You repeat the car.
I was just en route to my favourite strip club and then you guys turned around and opened up on me like...
Really?
It's a bit bizarre how this car came in here and then instant reversed out.
Why?
And he's wearing the same exact clothing as attempted murder suspect.
This is a popular jacket. It's a popular jacket. Someone else could have it.
So you're wearing the same exact pants, the same exact shoes, the same exact shirt, and possibly the same exact mask if we find it on you?
I would argue that identifying by someone's clothes is not fair in today's society. Because arguably, look at all you three. You're all dressed the exact same.
What's your name? Nip it in the bud right now. What's your name?
What's my name?
Yes. We'll nip it right in the bud.
It's Lewis.
Last name?
You can check me on the date first, then I'll tell you that.
Lewis Cox? Yeah, I know.
No.
Yeah, it is.
There you go then. So you're under arrest for attempted murder of 3 LEO. Those ATM robberies. Oh,
What do you mean attempted murder? I slapped 3 of you, just saying. That's what I'm saying. You're 3 against 1 and bam, 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 3 headshots, you know how it is.
And he admitted it.
Boy Cross down there has been caught aiding and abetting, or Tommy has been caught aiding and abetting Cross, and vice versa. Like, this isn't the first time this happened. They've got a history of them two hiding each other from us. So I mean,
that's
this isn't like an outlandish scenario. Like oh, I can't believe that would ever happen. They've done it before. So, I mean, it's not beyond a reasonable doubt to believe they'd do it again.
Well, within the scope of field, as far as a judge would be concerned, he's not going to look at past transgressions and use that against him.
You don't think the judge is going to look at 2 people that have hit each other from police and look at it and say, oh yeah, you probably wouldn't be doing that again.
No, that's against the 6th Amendment. You're not allowed to use past transgressions. Yes, it's the 6th Amendment, my friend.
They can't use past charges against
That is correct.
Okay, tell me this. So you're telling me if he is a felon that's known shooting at cops, I can't use that caution on the traffic stop?
Of course you fucking can. I didn't say that. I said the judge. The judge.
That's my point.
So judge can't use past charges.
Let me say something.
Apparently.
Right.
Let me say something. When a repeat offender goes into court, they use past evidence against them. It's called a repeat offender. Exactly. So the judge will look at his previous record and charge him accordingly. If he has no previous record, they cut him a break. But if he comes in a week later for the same thing, he's going to get charged with it. And if he comes back
that's
a year later,
bond as well.
Yes, exactly. So that is out the window.
Well, more or less, no. It really depends upon who we're talking about, who the judge is, how long it's been.
We were talking about 2 repeat felon offenders. So, I mean, that kind of doesn't fly here, my man.
Well, no judge is going to say, okay, well, he's done it once.
Can't sniff more than 1 cent. It's kind of hard for me. It's mixing, the wind's blowing. It's kind of hard.
Okay.
So that's what led to the helicopter getting up in the sky. Mr. Smith didn't get an anklet on him. So why you're Mr. Cross, wasn't aware
The
of that?
suspect said that he was freaking out the whole time, so that we were getting closer. Or not your suspect, your client.
He admits to Mr. Cross that he was freaking out. And Mr. Cross said in the back of this trooper's car right here, to the right of me right here, admitted that
spontaneous utterance.
Yep. And he kept saying that he was freaking out. You guys were getting closer. Once I arrested Mr. Smith, he willingly admitted it that we passed him at least 4 different times before actually catching the both of them. So he's not incriminating the client.
Okay. Well, they incriminated themselves. I didn't incriminate them.
Yeah. Well, I don't think he meant you incriminated him, but they definitely incriminated themselves.
Yeah, they kind of. Okay. Yeah, he basically just gave them both up that they're both hiding from us.
Okay. All right.
As if we didn't already know that.
Right. Okay. All right. Well,
yeah, we can take it to trial if you want to take it to trial.
Yeah, I feel like there's still a sturdy case here. I understand there's a lot of evidence against them. Maybe I'll talk to Mr. Tommy about the plea deal. I think that might be within his best interest to get the plea deal. But as far as Cross goes, I feel as though he does have a very real case here.
That's fine. We're going to go ahead and process him and get him in and get him out. And then we'll set a court date. We'll have court, and then based on that, we'll do a sentencing trial.
Okay.
Or a sentencing hearing.
Yeah. And I would expect all this evidence and all this, to kind of come to light and we see the truth. bro, you might slow down a little bit? You're going fast because you guys are going so fast. You're gonna slow it down, too. I didn't mean to cut you off like that, sorry. Doors. You guys want to block too far. You should have turned left right back there. We're gonna have 2 vehicles. There's a 4004. Get Chief in the back of you.
They then proceeded to get into a red 4-door sports car and launch it off of a side of a cliff with a staircase. From there, they jumped into the river or pond that's out there, and they swam across the river. And we lost eyes, so we pinged that location again. And it was around 6083 was where that last ping came about. And we ended up catching them inside of bushes. From there, they proceeded to tell us that they were running from a group of bikers and that they didn't realize that the police were looking for them. Now, mind you, there was about 15 to 20 cruisers out there, along with K9 dogs and an Air 1 helicopter up in the air about 10 to 13 feet above the ground. So there's no way that they did not realize that the police were looking for them at that point.
What was the original charge?
I was just originally going to pull them over for speeding, because I'm going to be doing 88 in a 45.
Where was that done at?
Grove Street.
Defense, do you have anything to add?
I'm going to let the prosecution finish, unless I have any objections, Your Honor, in the future.
Copy that. Defense? Prosecution,
Like me to
do you have
step forward?
anything else?
Well,
Okay.
we were originally going to get them, like I said, for the criminal speed. We were going to run their name, possibly revoke the license until their vehicle, depending on what their criminal charges were, because I have no idea who this guy was. The suspect was wearing a helmet, so I did not physically see his face, but the suspect had on a black suit, which is what Mr. Smith is wearing currently, and it was a white male. Mr. Smith is a white male, and he was also on his bike, where we matched the plate up to his bike, which is a Suzuki.
Right above tab.
It's a squiggly line.
It's called a tilde. Yes. You should be seeing a little round circle at the bottom left.
It's called a dildo? Oh, no.
No, none of that. I don't think I've set that muscle.
Mine is my H muscle.
Can't shut that down.
I'm sorry, would you excuse me, Your Honor, give me one moment, please. I will set that muscle.
Do we have this solved?
Let's try.
Oh, this shit.
He's trying to set up his voice pack.
/E/space chair.
I know.
Your Honor, can I say something while he's in his head?
You may.
So, Mr. Cross, I am going to openly, honestly say that I'm not sure, because there was 2 motorcycles that I was chasing. The other gentleman was wearing a white suit. It was a white male. Obviously, Mr. Cross is not wearing a white suit. So I do not know for sure that if he was with Mr. Cross, but he was trying to hide Mr. Smith in that bush with him. And they do have previous charges of trying to hide each other in bushes and in houses.
Understood.
Objection, Your Honor. Objection, Your Honor. Feel the scope.
Defense, do you have anything?
He said objection, feel the scope. In other words, the previous charges that he's implying can't be used against them.
Then we might need some better lawn care in the city.
That is correct.
That's his objection.
Is this all the evidence brought forth?
Air One was approximately 13 to 15 feet off the ground at the time. Getting very noticeable coverage and letting everyone in the area know that there was a police helicopter as well as all the police units with sirens on in the area. So, based on my training and experience, it's hard to believe that you wouldn't know there was a helicopter searching for you.
Understood.
Objection,
Defense?
Your Honor.
Yes.
Circumstantial.
Objecting to my training and experience?
Correct.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I am objecting on the idea of someone knowing that they are the target of said search.
How many years have you served in law enforcement?
15, sir.
15. How loud is, in your opinion, how loud is a helicopter from 10 to 15 feet off the ground?
Oh, you cannot speak around it. Radios have to be used with muffled headsets, even as the pilot and co-pilot inside. The sound is utterly deafening.
Your Honor, can I say something?
You may.
Mr. Cross also stated to me in the interrogation room he was Mirandaized and he was aware of his rights. He stated to me that him and Mr. I forget his name. Wow. Mr. Smith were afraid of them getting caught because we kept getting closer and closer to them. He stated that directly to me.
Right, you can be seated.
I want to know who let this guy in with a knife.
That would be your officers.
I believe it's just a sheath. It's not an actual knife on him.
It's just a prop, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Understood.
Still a knife.
I guess they didn't consider me a problem since I didn't do anything.
You said you have multiple objections?
Well, yeah. Okay, so apparently they just started chasing us at Grove Street, and they also said that they started pinging us when we were in the hills. Or pinging at Tommy, sorry. So they never actually saw us at Grove because we weren't there. I never was in a white suit. Never even went down to Grove at any point. Ever. So that's bogus. Along with what else was it? Would y'all just... He was with me the whole time at this point. Like, we never went down the Grove. And the helicopter being 10 to 15 feet off the ground was after it landed next to us and they apprehended us. So there was never 10 to 15 feet until after they had pinged us, I guess, and landed right on top of us. And then, we were pretty sure that we were being chased at that point by the cops. But we didn't know that until then. Because, busy with trying to evade for our lives at that point. Because watching, or hearing somebody on the radio and watching that, yeah, no. So... I find it kind of hard to pay attention to the cops at the value of our own lives. Considering I thought the cops would be there for the gunshots. So the fact that they're chasing us instead of helping that life, that's cool. Yeah, alright.
Your Honor, can I say something?
You mentioned to me, or one of you did, that there could be no corrupt cops.
If you knew at the time the cops were looking, why would you be hiding in a bush?
I just said we didn't know if they could be corrupt or not.
So about 20 to 30 cops are all going to be corrupt?
I don't know which ones of you are going to be corrupt. One of you already tried to do the whole 10 to 15 feet off the ground, so you're already saying all that crap. So I don't know what to believe from y'all. I mean, if y'all can let us sworn in, that's cool.
Your Honor, if I may. Mr. Mr. Cross charges at this moment are just aiding and abetting a fugitive, which would be Mr. Smith. They have PS priors. They
So
have
it's
priors
kind
for
of
aiding and
confused
abetting
why I'm
each
even
other.
here.
Aiding and abetting in line to fellow law enforcement. That's why.
I didn't know he had an anklet. I didn't know he was even. I didn't know any of that.
So you're asking questions.
Oh, am I not allowed to talk?
Objection. I have an objection to this officer's statement here.
Yes.
I understand that in the field, you may look someone up and try to ascertain their criminal history, but I am expecting a fair trial here, and I expect that a previous case will not be used against Mr. Cross in this case. You can't possibly say that previous transgressions are viable in this case.
We have not brought in any past cases in this.
I am expecting a fair trial here, and I expect that a previous case will not be used against Mr. Cross in this case. You can't possibly say that previous transgressions are viable in this case.
We have not brought in any past cases in this current case.
Well, Your Honor, I believe the detective's statement just now said that based upon his criminal history, which I understand, that he was attempting to understand possibly the danger, right, that was present from this individual based upon previous charges. But I'm saying personally that I don't think that is admissible at this point due to the Sixth Amendment, Your Honor, and the 14th Amendment as well, Your Honor.
Your Honor, can I say something?
Yes.
So when we bring up previous charges, we're not doing that to charge them. We're doing that while we investigate to get a better understanding of what had happened, if that makes any sense. So when they do have a previous history of said charge, that's why we go back and look at certain things to understand exactly what we have to deal with.
Sir, I don't debate that. I don't debate that should be a thing in your trial here, and I expect that a previous case will not be used against Mr. Cross in this case. You can't possibly say that previous transgressions are viable in this case.
We have not brought in any past cases in this current case.
Well, Your Honor, I believe the detective's statement just now said that based upon his criminal history, which I understand, that he was attempting to understand possibly the danger, right, that was present from this individual based upon previous charges. But I'm saying personally that I don't think that is admissible at this point due to the Sixth Amendment, Your Honor, and the 14th Amendment as well, Your Honor.
Your Honor, can I say something?
Yes.
So when we bring up previous charges, we're not doing that to charge them. We're doing that while we investigate to get a better understanding of what had happened, if that makes any sense. So when they do have a previous history of said charge, That's why we go back and look at certain things to understand exactly what we have to deal with.
Sir, I don't debate that. I don't debate that should be a thing in your ability to do your job. I just saying personally that I don't think that is admissible at this point due to the Sixth Amendment, Your Honor, and the 14th Amendment as well, Your Honor.
Your Honor, can I say something?
Yes.
So, when we bring up previous charges, we're not doing that to charge them. We're doing that while we investigate to get a better understanding of what had happened, if that makes any sense. So when they do have a previous history of said charge, that's why we go back and look at certain things to understand exactly what we have to deal with.
Sir, I don't debate that. I don't debate that should be a thing in your ability to do your job. I just debate that it has no place in this courtroom.
But we're not trying to bring it into the courtroom. That's what we're trying to say. We're trying to help the judge understand why we came about these charges.
Buckshot 4, 1041,
All right.
10-8.
Well, I think that's still a field of scope issue, and that's why I object, and that's why we're having this conversation.
10-4, court case is going on right now. 10-4.
Now, you do realize the Sixth Amendment is fair trial.
Correct.
By jury.
Turn
Turn around, go to jury. And I think this is a pretty fair trial, if I say so myself. And did you say the 14th or the 16th Amendment?
The 14th Amendment, Your Honor.
You do realize the 14th Amendment grants citizenship to all persons born and naturalized in the United States.
Oh,
how you doing? Both the peaches.
The speed trap is... Oh, jeez.
Ethan, what's up here?
1 second. Oh my. Wouldn't you also say the following events after the initial speed trap would be protocol?
It really depends. I can't see it for myself, so I can't say yes or no, because we don't know based upon other than sworn statement, or I don't recollect if it was said or not, if there was a appropriate stop that was attempted, lights and sirens, all that, to where the suspect knew that he was being pulled over.
Well, when we have big, bright blue lights and a really loud siren...
Oh, sir, don't cop-splain to me, okay?
And the law is pull to the right side of the road.
But we're talking purely facts, my friend. Purely
facts. I just stated a fact. I have bright blue lights on my car with an overhead bar as well, and a super loud siren on my car.
Come on, Tim.
Oh, why do you act like this, my friend? What is the reason? What have I done to you? What have I done to you?
I'm just stating facts. I'm not trying to be rude.